So in other words, you're not going to do anything. That's the reality. You're going to stick by these collective agreements that don't serve all groups of workers. So give you an example, the Tories, and I wouldn't be singing the praises of them at any time, but for teaching, because of the crisis there, they brought in a scheme where bursaries, for example, to teach chemistry, somebody will get a scholarship of 31,000 and a bursary of 29,000 sterling, much higher than the average industrial wage. Postgraduate bursaries are being introduced. Irish people are going over to the UK to do their teacher training there because they're going to get paid the average industrial wage, and obviously they're going to stay in the system there for a period of time. In Australia, they brought in hard-to-fill vacancies, and they also introduced 5,000 in scholarships as well. For a non-UK student, they can go over, if they're going to teach languages, they'll get a bursary, or physics or sciences or whatever. Your government is doing nothing. We need a city allowance for public sector workers, in my opinion. We need special education allowances. We need to look at how we're going to lift the hardship of public sector workers. Otherwise, they're going to continue to fly to Australia and all around the globe, and our crisis will continue.
Minister.
What I'd say is there are many public servants working here that are involved in the bargaining process, which the trade unions were centrally involved in the last public pay agreement. And that collective pay agreement has brought huge industrial peace to our country relative to many other countries in Europe and elsewhere. And I think it's really important that the collaboration continues. As I've said, the emphasis in the public service agreement that we're in is on lower paid workers, including teachers or nurses and others as they exit from college. And we've got significant other supports that we're trying to ramp up in the context of the budget we set out last year, for example, on the renters' tax credit. Clearly, the local bargaining mechanism is also an opportunity for trade unions to involve themselves in that process and the additionality that's available through it. And clearly, the outworking of this pay agreement is providing significant increases to core pay when you look at the overall increases over a 2.5-year period. And we want to continue that collective approach when it comes to pay and industrial policy.